Hey everybody, it's Ray from Car Freaks again. We have a '08 Chevy Silverado that we're going to be replacing the front axle on. The CV joints in it are loose, and when it's in four-wheel drive and you go around the corner, they're starting to actually clunk. So hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification button so whenever we have a new one you'll see it. And we're going to dig right into this by taking the tire off right now. So. Okay, now what we're going to end up doing here is we're going to be taking the caliper loose, and to take that out of the way, we'll wire it up over here out of the way. We're going to take the ABS line here and here loose so we have some slack in the line. We'll take this little bolt out here and take the rotor off, and then we'll actually end up coming up here and releasing the ball joint and seeing if that has enough of a looseness enough where we can wiggle that that axle out of there. We'll take this cap off, take the big nut off here, and there's 6 little bolts back there. But before we take the brakes apart, we're going to press the brakes down. We'll have somebody get in the truck and they'll apply the brakes. That way we can break those 6 little bolts loose, and we'll go from there. So first thing we're going to do is go ahead and break those bolts loose. Okay, you want to let up on it for a minute? Okay. Okay, that up.
That up?
Yep. Okay. Okay, that should do it. Okay, we got all 6 of those broke loose. So then we'll go ahead now and start pulling our caliper off. we'll take this wire, we're going to wire it right up here to the A-arm. I'll release this little clip here for the ABS. And we'll release this little clip here also for the ABS. Okay, there we go. We got slack in that. Now we're going to take this little bolt out of here. Well, we got an issue with this little bolt right here. The head's kind of stripped out a little bit. I will take and see if we can get that loosened up, but I'm not going to bore you with watching this on camera at this point in time. So I will show you how we actually get it loose, but I'm not going to bore you with the actual procedure, because it could take 5 minutes, it could take 15-20 minutes, so I'm not going to bore you with that. Okay, we got this off. What we ended up having to do is taking the die grinder with a bit on it and just work that in there until we went through the head of it and we were ready to pull it off. So as you can see, just a little bit of it is still attached right here. No big deal. We'll put it back on. Basically all it does, it just holds it centered until you can put the wheel and whatnot on it. So that's no big deal. So now what we will do is get the little cap here off to expose our axle nut. There we go. Go ahead and take this off there. Our new axle comes with a new nut, so we don't need this, but we will have to put this washer back on. And don't forget to put the washer back on. Otherwise you'll be taking it back apart and doing it again. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is reach up in here and I'm going to pull these 6 bolts out that hold the flange in. Okay, now we got that flange off of there. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take the nut, or the nut off here on the upper ball joint and see if we can get that separated and get the top of that spindle to swing out of the way. And it looks like this one has a castle nut on it. So we can pull that keeper out here. Okay, I got the nut off the upper A-arm, the ball joint, and we have our jack underneath already here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and slide that in there and get just a little bit of strain on it. You be careful that you don't tear your rubber boots. So I'm going to just put a little bit of strain on it like this, and then tap the sides of the spindle. Basically all you're doing is giving it a little bit of shock and just putting a little bit of pressure on it here. Okay, we got pressure on now. You can tell when the sound changes. So hit the sides here. There we go. Alright, there we go, and looked like we got lucky on the boot. We did not tear the boot up, so awesome. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to let the jack down, try to get as much stretch on that axle as we can to get as much room there. So we will pick up on this, get this up like that, and see if we can get this all to clear everything. Go. There's our axle. Okay, now as you can see, this is right apart right there. It's this joint right here is the only thing holding it together is the boot, because the hub is still up inside here. So we'll get this wiggled around. We can get that out of there. Okay, and here is our issue right here. That is not supposed to do that. So this joint right here is all apart. There, it just kind of went together, but it's so loose and sloppy, and that's probably where a good share of the clunking came from. That, and this boot here is all torn, so there's probably a lot of dirt and rust and whatnot in there. So that being said, I will get the new axle. And here is our brand new rebuilt axle. Now, being rebuilt means that it has been used once and it got turned in when it got messed up, and they rebuilt it to better than OEM specs. They got these new improved real soft rubber boots on them, so they're not hard plastic like these ones, which always seem to crack. It comes with a new nut, so we'll be sure to put the new nut on it. And supposedly, according to the literature on these axles, that they have better than OEM standard joints in them, so they're supposed to be stronger joint. So, which is what we need. We live up here in the snow country, and four-wheel drive is a must. So, all right, we'll take this and we'll wiggle it back up in there. Okay, and there it is, right there. So our hub assembly. Again, make sure you put this washer in. Our new nut. We'll put that on like that. And we will torque that. These are supposed to be torqued anywhere between 170 to 180 pounds. Make sure you check your manufacturer's suggested torque on these, because if you get too much torque on them, it puts too much pressure against these bearings and they will prematurely fail. Not enough torque, the bearings can start to separate, and again, they will prematurely fail. So make sure you check with your manufacturer's torque recommendations on these. And here is our 6 bolts. We're up in here. I think before we put that on though, I am going to get this ball joint back in place. Okay, pick up on our jack. Okay, let's settle that back down in there. Put our nut back on. Okay, we're just this snug that up good enough. We can put our 6 bolts in back here. Okay, there you have it. We have the axles back in. What I'm going to do is go ahead and tighten up the ball joint here. We'll put a new cotter pin across there. We'll put the brake assembly together and put the rotor back on, the caliper back on, and we'll have somebody push on the brake pedal again, and we will tighten up our 6 bolts back there. Also, while that's being applied, we can torque this nut right here. And then basically all done, and we'll throw the wheel back on it, and there you go. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting this back together right now. I'm not going to bore you with putting it together. You know how to tighten up nuts and bolts. Basically, that's it. That's how we did it. I will see you in a few seconds. Okay, there you have it. We have the wheel all back on. The brakes are all back together. The axle is all tightened up and torqued down. So, like I said, it's not that big a deal. If you got some time and some tools, and it doesn't take a whole lot of tools, just normal tools. If you don't have some, maybe you can get with a buddy and get a garage or something to work in. They're not that hard to change. You don't have to go to your dealerships and spend that big dollar. You know, this is how you do it. So don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and leave us a comment. Tell us what you think, and let us know what's on your mind. We do have some more videos coming up on some other projects, so hopefully we'll see you on the next one.